Next part we're gonna do, I'm gonna delete this. The next part we're gonna do is we're gonna learn how to make a cup. So we're gonna merge these two together. So right now we have this one right here and this one. So these two right here. The height of this is, what is the height of this thing? Well, we can just delete that, and then we'll just make a new one. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a hole. How to make a hole out of this. So like we talked about, the solid and the hole. So what's going to happen is the first things we're going to do is we're going to learn how to merge. So if I put this halfway just like that, okay, if I click on one, it'll just bring it out. But if you don't, what's going to happen is if you highlight both of them, you have to highlight both of them. Click this little button right here. You see my mouse. Click this little button that says group. When you group them together, it makes one shape. As you can see, that shape changes. The two shapes are merged together. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to unmerge this, and we're going to talk about holes now. Like the last one we talked about, a hole means that anything that overlaps in this thing will delete. You will delete stuff based off of anything that's in this vicinity. So we're going to put this over here, just like that. Alright, and then once we group them together, so highlight both of them at the same time and hit group, as you can see, it just makes things disappear. It just deleted a chunk out of it. Whatever is in the hole will automatically be deleted. So we're going to undo this. We're going to undo that, or you can just ungroup it. What we're going to do is we're going to make a cut. We're going to make a hole inside this thing. What you're going to do is you're going to place it in here. Now the problem is once you place it in here, you see these little lines. Those lines means that it's too big. You're going to have holes in the middle. As you can see, if you make a cup out of this, that means these lines means there's holes in it. So we don't want that. We definitely don't want that. But that's how you're cutting them out. Once you group it, you cut them out. So we're going to readjust this. We're going to readjust our hole. We're going to readjust our hole just to make it a little smaller and put it in the center. What you can do is do alignment. So we have here, if I do this and I highlight both of them, I can make the align button. The align button actually, when you hit the align button, this button right here, you see these black dots, right? These black dots will tell me which way to go. I can make the cup move over here. I can make the cup be in the middle. I can line this up. As you can see, I can move. As you can see that the orange is where the cylinder is going to move. You can do that with the square and everything. You can bring it up here and then do these, but they're all even, so there's no point in that one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up. I'm going to line it up perfectly. Okay, that's almost perfect. And I'm going to put it right in the middle. So as you can see, I line it up center by center. So that means I know this is centered. That's what the alignment button is. That's what this button is with the bar graph. That's an align button. So now once you have that ready to go, we click on that, and then we group them together, and there's my hole. Now the biggest thing is, if I want it to be a mug, obviously there's going to be a problem with this. Why? Because the hole goes all the way through. We don't want a hole to go all the way through. That's not what we want. So we're going to ungroup this. We're going to ungroup that. And then what we're going to do is you're going to click away somewhere else, and then you click on the center of this. If you have to zoom in a little bit. What's going to happen is we're going to zoom out. What's going to happen is we have this little triangle, right? Remember the triangle above the shape? If you click on that triangle and lift it up, that means that the bottom of the sphere is going to be higher. I might want to be a little lower. Okay, check if all the spacing are. You want to make sure that the cylinder didn't move. So there we go. It looks perfect. Now I'm going to group these together, highlight both of them, and then we're going to group them again. As you can see, look, there it doesn't go all the way to the bottom anymore. So that means that we made an actual cup. Okay, we're going to do a couple other ones. I'm going to make a ring. I'll bring out a ring, just like that. Just like that, and then I'm going to cut this ring in half. We're going to check if it's all the way. As you can see, most people, if you look at it, you're like, oh, I cut it in half. That was perfect. That was beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. That was a perfect cut in half. But then if you move it, you're like, oh, I missed. Darn. So that means you sometimes have to kind of see it from all angles. If you don't see it from all angles, you're not going to see it. We're going to change this solid to a hole. that means anything inside this prism is going to be deleted. So that means this part right here is going to be deleted. It looks like we need to align this a little bit better. Let's check out if we can align it a little bit better. No, that puts it in there, so there's nothing we can do with this. We're gonna leave it like that. And let's see if I can make it a little bit. There we go. That should be halfway. Okay. So then once we highlight the two, if we highlight the two and group them, it cuts the thing in half. So now here comes the next part about merging the mug. We're going to have to rotate this bad boy. So if we rotate this, we're going to have to move it. As you can see, I couldn't see the rotate button over here. It's really hard to. But if I rotate it this way, you'll see it this way, and I can rotate it 90 degrees. And then if I rotate here, I have this thing that'll bring it up as much as I can. That looks pretty good. I'm going to slide him over. Too tall. Alright, I brought it down. This thing brings down the height. It was too tall. I can't bring it down, so I might as well because it's already on the plane. As you can see, it's right on the plane. It's perfect. But then, like, when you look at it this way, it's like, oh, it looks good. It looks really good. But then when you turn it over here, it's not centered. So then we're just going to move it just a hair. Just like this. And then we're going to check. I must have moved it out somewhere. Looks like there's a gap. Looks like there's a gap, so I'm just going to push it in a little. And there we go. Oh, getting closer. If I push it in just a little bit more. Check the spacing. That looks good. Now, once we do that, we highlight both of them and we click. As you can see, we made a mug. That's what we're going to do. That's how we're going to do it. That's how you make a mug. That looks pretty good. There's my mug and inscriptions and stuff like that. If you want to engrave, then you just make a text, do a scribble. Just like that. If I do a scribble just like that, okay, and then we rotate it out at 90 degrees, just like that. And then we rotate it, not that way. See, as you can see, it was a little weird. We kind of have to rotate it this way. We gotta rotate it this way. We're gonna shrink it just a little. And then we're gonna try and place it on here, just like that. Gonna have to make it higher. Looks pretty good. Might have to shrink it just a little bit. There we go. Just like that. And then remember what we said. It's gonna be, you want to make it large enough where you can squeeze it in here so it doesn't protrude out. Oh, it's protruding out just a little bit, so I'm gonna have to move it out just like that. As you can see, you got to check the back to see if it's not punching out, and then we're going to test that. We can put it like this. You can make it solid. So if you group this, that means the whole thing's going to be connected together. If not, we're going to undo just that part. You're going to turn this into a hole. The hole will make an inscription on the inside. It'll engrave it instead of making an etch. So if I group this now, click everything, make sure you highlight everything, and then group it. As you can see, it made the word hi right there. Okay, made the word hi just like that, which is really good. So that's what I have, H-I-T, and that's how we engrave things. Okay, and that's how we engrave something on there. So that's pretty much about how we're gonna do things. You just have to add and subtract things to get all your little shapes and everything like that. So I want you guys to enjoy. Those are the two basic shapes that you need. So enjoy, have fun, get on with it, make your keepsakes and stuff like that. Until next time, all right? Good night.